Thunderstorms led to flash flooding and other dangerous conditions from Saturday well into Sunday in several counties, including Casey County. Roadways flooded or broke down due to erosion, like in the case of Clementsville Hill Road. Emergency officials responded to at least 2 water rescues, and the Campbellsville Taylor County Fire Department teamed up with Casey County Rescue to help families in need. And neighborhoods were not the only spots affected. Campsites within the Red River Gorge area had to be evacuated due to flooding, and some visitors even had to be rescued, including 2 backpackers in Wolfe County who needed help crossing a creek that swelled overnight. And when severe weather like this hits, officials remind people to listen and follow flood warnings, report flooding to local law enforcement, and to never drive over flooded roads. Alex Valverde, LEX 18 News.
In some other news this morning, Governor Andy Beshear is reminding the state that we are not powerless in the fight against COVID-19. His message comes as Kentucky reported a dip in statistics. The governor reported 536 new virus cases yesterday. 87 of those cases were from people younger than 19 years old. And that brings the total number of cases since the pandemic began in Kentucky to 56,945. The governor also reported 3 new deaths, raising the death toll to 1,060. And despite that decrease in cases, the governor says this often happens during the weekend because testing labs are closed. And a prominent Kentucky infectious disease specialist has died after a nearly 4-month battle against COVID-19. Dr. Rebecca Shadoan tested positive for the virus on May 13th. MedCenter Health in Bowling Green says she died on Friday. Governor Beshear is urging people to follow her advice and wear a mask in her honor. 6:33 now. The frustration is boiling over in Fayette County as kids start their 4th week of school at home this morning. And tonight, a protest led by parents is planned outside the Fayette County School Board meeting on Main Street in Lexington. Back in early August, Governor Andy Beshear recommended Kentucky schools wait to begin in-person classes until September 28th at the earliest, pending a decline in positive COVID cases. That recommendation, along with staffing concerns, are just a few reasons Fayette County Public Schools said they decided to begin the school year virtually. But dozens of parents tell us they understand in-person learning is not best for every family right now, and they'd like the choice as they are worried for their kids' long-term education, mental health, and socializing skills. Parents also tell us they've reached out to Fayette County Public Schools and the school board pleading for a change, but they say hundreds of emails, phone calls, and other forms of messages have gone mostly unanswered. LEX 18's Claire Kopsky sat down with several parents to learn more about why they want their students safely back to school.
Push play. All right, I think we got them started here.
Started on yet another day of virtual learning in the Hoskins household of 5 kids, kindergarten through 7th grade, with a single working dad at the helm.
They told us that it was going to be totally different than it was in the spring, and it's not. It's not totally different. It's the same thing. My kids have in-person Zoom learning for 3 hours a day. My day is 8 hours with school. So they're in front of a Zoom teacher for 3 hours. The other 5's on me.
Nathan, like so many other parents, are dealing with failing or missing technology. Kristen Childress's 2 sons have the devices, but she says they still often get kicked offline, causing tears from her kids who want to learn.
The mom who really values education has a decision to make. Do I let this continue in my home for the next 2 hours, or do I close it and move on to something far more productive and positive? What kind of message am I sending him? Is education really that important that we're willing to shut it down for the day?
In addition to day-to-day at-home classroom stress, hundreds of Fayette County parents say they're confused over Fayette County Public Schools surveying them back in July, asking what their preference for school was this fall, because 69 to 72% said they were likely or somewhat likely to return to in-person school. Yet the year started virtually.
It really didn't make any sense to me that they decided to not go with that recommendation. That we know what's best for our children, our community does, and as a collective whole, we made that decision for children to go back. They did not listen to that. Okay, so why ask us if you're not going to listen?
Nathan says that lack of response is one of the reasons parents like him plan to protest tonight. He says their goal is to have a conversation about putting their kids back in the classroom.
I think that there is no method for collecting information from parents right now on what's happening to us. There's no method for us to give them feedback. I need them to give me a method to give them timely feedback. I need metrics. I'd like to know what metrics they're using to assess the situation.
I want them to know that we appreciate them. We appreciate that this is a thankless job, that especially in the times of the pandemic and nobody expecting this, that they're trying to make decisions that they feel would benefit the majority. However, it's time to step back and know that the majority of their students are in trouble right now.
In trouble, and parents say it's not for anything they did. In Lexington, Claire Kopsky, LEX 18 News.